Hello, welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast, episode 196. How's everybody doing tonight? DoorDash and home delivery, new Tesla financing, and you can become a stool donor. Yes, we will be getting to that story no matter what happens tonight. We're going to talk about how you can make extra money with your poop. I'm not sure why you would want to do that, but I guess $50 is $50. Right, Larry?
Yeah, but it pays a little more than that. We'll get to that later, but yeah, it's an interesting way to make a little money.
So I have it in the title. No doubt I'm going to go through the show and forget it. So it's your job to remind me at the end of the show, no matter what time it is, we have to do it. So,
I don't know. We could save it for the Patreon.
Oh, that could be too. That could be. Yeah, we could do that. Go to gigeconomyshow.com for our newsletter. And if you want to get notified when we have new episodes, when we go live, all that fun stuff, gigeconomyshow.com. Then we have our Patreon members, Samson, Steve, Bud, Omar, Delivery Cats, Jamie, Frank, Tom, Jim. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show continually month after month. What those guys get at the $10 tier is they get an extra podcast a month, which we're podcasting tonight. Go to go to patreon.com/the GigEcon podcast. You get an extra podcast a month. You get a t-shirt, and this is on the $10 tier. You get ad-free shows, and then you get the pre-ramble. On the $5 tier, you get the pre-ramble, and then your love and adoration for us. But we'd love to keep this show going. It really does help us kind of pay the bills and stuff like that. And so, yeah, go to patreon.com/the Gig Econ Podcast, or just search the Gig Economy Podcast in Patreon. We also have a Telegram group. Larry, can you tell us what that is?
Yes, a Telegram group is it's a chat group. It's similar to something like Discord, but in Telegram you can do text messages or you can do voice messages. And so it's just a group we have. It's full of gig workers all over the country, all over the world. We share information in there. We vent to each other. We get tips and tricks from each other. And a lot of people in the Michigan area, they'll share traffic information, if a road's shut down or something like that. So it's a good place to go. Sometimes it's nice to talk to people who understand what you're doing and the frustrations you have and things like that. So come join the Gig Economy Telegram group. And we have had some new members, I think, in the last week. And have you noticed, Jason, since I started the show, we've started to add female members. I don't,
That's
I don't know
so true.
Is, but, I'm just saying. So, but yeah, come join our Telegram group. We have a lot of fun. Sometimes it's a little quiet, but sometimes it's it's got a lot of chatter going in there. If you got a question or a comment, somebody will try to respond to you. And it's a good place to just talk, shoot the breeze.
Yeah. In all honesty, the last gal, Nicole, her and I have been chatting on Facebook Messenger. I don't know how she somehow connected with me. She's in Livonia, and she was asking me some questions. I was like, "Hey, you should join the chat too." So she joined there, and she's like, she sent me a message, and she was like, "Why is your name Delivery Daddy? I can't even," because that's what my tag is in, in the Telegram chat. So,
yeah, that's right. That's funny. I need to change mine back. I think I originally had it. Papa Larry, I think, is what it originally was.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I don't either.
Let's see.
I have to check.
Larry.
If I don't even know if I have anything.
No, I don't. You don't. You don't have nothing.
There you go. It's time to change that.
Yeah, it is time. All righty. Stories from the road. I did actually work. Not very long. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Bump.
And I just worked Memorial Day. It was kind of rainy and crappy here, so I decided I'm just going to go out and do some food delivery. And, I said I'll stay out here as long as I'm busy. I was busy for about 90 minutes. And then I said, you know what? No, thanks. And came home and, just hung out with the fam pretty much the whole weekend. I started a new show called American Rust. Have you heard about it?
American Rust?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe I have.
It is on Amazon Prime, and it's with Jeff Daniels. So I'm not going to explain what it is. It's good. I like it. But yeah, so I binged a lot of that because Megan worked over the weekend. So how was your holiday weekend?
Yeah, I worked a little bit as well. I got off work Friday and at 11 and went out and was doing some rides and then started getting a sore throat.
Oh my gosh.
As everybody can probably tell from my voice tonight, I'm a little congested tonight, but didn't feel great Saturday. Kind of rested Saturday and Sunday. Felt fine Monday, and today really just very congested. So
yeah,
I did some rides. Had nothing crazy going on. Did have a passenger that I've had before. It was one of those. As soon as she hopped in the car, hi, I've ridden with you before. Do you remember me? I'm on your Instagram, and I'm like, I see a lot of people. You know? that's what I use. And she's like, oh, that's okay. I know you see a lot of people. And then as we were talking, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I remember you. Yeah, now I remember you. She's here going to school, but she's from California.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuck out. But yeah, I always get caught in that. Like, do I act like I remember them when I don't? Because then they're going to say something that should know the answer to.
Right.
If I really remembered them and I didn't.
Well, what I always tell the kids at school is because there's 400 kids. You think I know them all? I was like, guess what? I don't know your name. You know what that means? You don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
right.
you're with your gal, you're like, you weren't memorable. Not that's a bad thing. Like you weren't an asshole. You know, you were just.
That's right. You didn't cause trouble.
You didn't cause trouble.
Mess up my car or something like that.
Then I'd remember your face.
Yeah. And I tell them that too. I'm like, I see a glimpse of you as you walk up to the car.
True.
It's not like I'm staring at you in the mirror. That'd be pretty creepy. And, I might see you for a second or two as you leave, or, you might glance in the rear view, but you're not just staring at them the whole time. And so, yeah, there's people that, I've had that I would swear I've never seen them before.
Right.
But they're like, no, I'm on your Instagram page. We took a picture together.
Yeah. And then especially at night, you can't see shit.
Yeah.
That's one nice thing about the tablet. It puts a glow on them, which I really like. I mean, enough that you can see like their eyes and what's going on a little bit. So
exactly.
Before we jump in gig economy news, last time, and then we're taking a break for a while, but if you haven't subscribed to Kim's Side Money Plans podcast now, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, let's go. We've been talking about it for months, and I love her so much. There's 9 of you watching right now. There's no reason why you can't go download her podcast right now. Link is in the description for everything. Amazing YouTuber, great content creator, and really beginning to like vibe with Kim quite a bit when we chat. We actually have each other's telephone numbers, so that means we actually like texting. It's more than just a YouTube friend. It's a friend outside of the show. So check her out. I would appreciate it if you would do that. All right. So I shared this picture and Larry responded WTF, but I didn't respond to it because Larry likes to spoil all the show stuff. So I was just going to not say anything because he was going to fuck it up. So I share this picture. And if you're online, you can give your guess what's going on with this. It is a delivery driver has some food on the seat, and then he has a drink in a cup carrier. Now, mind you, look how old that car is, by the way, too. Look at the weird cup holder and the door handles. Like, this is an old car, which is great. You don't need to go out and buy a brand new car if you're DoorDashing. You can just get a $500 banger, and it's fine. But anyways, and then he has a shoelace on the drink and then clipped to the bag. What would the reason be for that? Larry, you want to take a stab at it?
Yeah, I know what the reason would be for me. It's because you forget that they have a drink and you go deliver their food and then you're 2 blocks away. And you're like, crap, I forgot to bring their drinks with them.
That's exactly what it is.
I've done that. Yes, for sure.
I've forgotten maybe one drink, and I haven't done a ton of food delivery. I mean, maybe 800 of them. So I guess that's pretty good. 1 in 800. But yeah, I saw that. People were giving them shit online. And I mean, I thought it was kind of ingenious. I mean, obviously you got a little ADD and if that helps you not, forget someone's drink. I have no problem with that.
Yeah. Whatever works for you. I mean, everybody's got these little tips, tricks that they do for different things. But yeah, it did take me when I first saw it, I was like, what is going on?
Right.
But then after I looked at it, I was like, you know what? I get what's going on here. That's a good idea. That would definitely help, because I think I've only driven away once with somebody's drink, but come back to my car probably twice more and then look down and there's the drink.
So what do you do? Did you just bring it back?
Yeah. I just drank it.
Yeah. Have you ever spilled anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I told the story in the show. I spilled a shake.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
Yeah, and the guy was really cool about it and everything. Still left the tip, and I even said, I'll go back and buy one under my own money and give it to you because I felt so bad. He's like, nah, it's fine. You only dumped half of it. It's whatever. I don't know. Maybe they were high. I don't know.
And well, that's pretty cool of them, because some people would be a real, just a real dick about it.
And they were young kids too. I was fully expecting getting some shit, but I didn't. So
right.
Josh says he doesn't want any food near his seats. All goes in bags in the trunk. That's interesting. I would be a little nervous on drinks tipping over in the trunk. I would want, unless you have some sort of secure system. I actually put the drinks most of the time on my floorboards. Where it's relatively, that's the levelest place you're going to get in the car.
Yeah. Because if they're in the seat, they're always, they're at an angle.
Yeah.
And I always ask for cup carriers.
Yeah.
Drink carriers.
And I will put food on the seat depending on where I'm getting it from. If I'm getting it from a place that put it in a plastic grocery bag, like a Mexican place or whatever, or an Asian place, I'm fine with that. But any kind of Five Guys, that shit.
Oh, no. Yeah.
That is not going on the seats.
No, that grease is not going on my seat.
No. I know the restaurants where it's going to leak through. McDonald's bags are good. I don't have a problem with those either. They're really thick on the bottom. So, but definitely. I wouldn't want to put it in the trunk every time, but hey, each to his own. He wants to keep his shit clean and
keep the smell out too.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I never thought about that. Why does pizza smell so much? Pizza and Indian food. That shit. You deliver that and then close your door for the night and go to bed and get up 8 hours later and go to work in the morning. Still smells like it.
It's for sure. Yep. I don't know, what it is about those that make it last so long, but especially the Indian food. I've only done a few. We have a pretty good Indian restaurant here, and it will linger.
It will. Larry, Gig Company spending some money. We had this on last week and we never got to it. Gig Company spending more than $200 million to write their own labor law. You can give us the layman terms.
So 4 years ago, voters in California approved Prop 22. We talked about this ad nauseum over the years when it happened. So it was a ballot measure that was sponsored by Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, all the gig economies, and basically Prop 22 allowed their companies to continue to treat their delivery drivers and workers as independent contractors. And that was in response to AB 5, which was a state law that was put into place by the, California Supreme Court decision that would have required the companies to classify those workers as employees. And as it says in the title, Uber, Lyft, and other companies spent $200 million on this. And so, they got a carve out basically for their employees or for their delivery people. So they weren't affected by that, but in order to do that and to make everybody happy, they did offer some concessions as far as giving benefits and things like that to their workers. But now it says in 2021, a Superior Court judge invalidated Prop 22, said that it gives the power to create and enforce a complete workers' compensation system because it declares gig workers independent contractors and eligible for the benefit. So they're saying that Prop 22 is not valid. And so they got, the gig companies obviously appealed that decision, and the state appeals court ruled 2-1 in their favor last year. And then California appealed that decision, and the state's highest court is going to hear that case. So that's what's going on. And then it's really the Supreme Court of California is going to decide whether or not Prop 22 is legal. Of course, they're saying, the companies are saying if it gets overturned, it's going to shut things down. They're not going to be able to have enough workers. It's just not going to work. So it's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out.
So if it gets overturned, does it go back to AB5 or does it go back to just what it was before?
I think it goes back to what it was before, but again, it's a little unclear just from the articles that I've been able to get a hold of. We should be having some more news probably in the next week.
And I was going to ask, is there a timeline when they're going to make a decision on that?
I did not see anything
okay.
On the definite date.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on that too. I mean, I often wonder if they went back to what it was before. Uber and Lyft probably don't want that either. They would rather they'd rather just stick with the Prop 22. They're like, it's fine. Let's just leave it as it is. Let's not fuck around with it. But yeah, we'll have to kind of see what they do. So
yeah.
All right. Moving forward. This is. I don't understand this. It's a 36-second video, and this woman was delivering food, and apparently she had to piss. But we'll just watch it, and we'll discuss, because,
Discuss.
So she's going to deliver food, then she walks back, has to pee. Before she delivers it, drops trow, and takes a leak. Wow. And then she delivers the food. I didn't know there was music on that. We're going to get flagged for that one. I don't know. Anyways, so she basically walks up and has McDonald's, walks like she's going to deliver it, then walks back to the entrance. Now, this is kind of like outside apartments where like all the doors are accessible from the outside. You don't have to go into like a main door. And then decides she's got to pee, walks back, pees, grabs a bag, and goes, finishes delivery. So I don't know why. I don't know why you had to go so bad and you couldn't just done the delivery and then, I don't know, gone to your car. Go do what the lady at Instacart does. She opens her doors, Gabe's new friend in his town at Costco.
Yeah. So here's the solution here. As we talked about before, that we need to come up with something that, that's similar to the Thirsty Goose, but for women. So obviously it would need to have a bigger mouth. So we need to have, instead of hungry hippo, the Thirsty Hippo. I think verbal trademark.
The Thirsty Hippo. Hi, Bubba Sue. Thanks for joining. My God. Yeah, I do feel bad for women, like I say this all the time, like they have it rough, but I can just think of some you would just slip on with a hose and you just stick see you don't even need a Thirsty Hippo. You need a separate unit. Maybe it has a Velcro and it goes next to the Thirsty Goose and you pull that off and you put it on your, hoo-ha, and then it has a straw and you just put it into the hole. Larry's like, I ain't going to touch that. Nah, good.
Moving on.
So, just don't pee where you're delivering. What do they say? Don't shit where you work or don't shit where you eat or something like that. Yeah, don't shit where you eat. That's basically, she didn't shit, but she went number one. So,
like that. Yeah. I mean, I understand if you got to go, you got to go. But first of all, look and see if there's a doorbell camera there.
Oh, God, everything has cameras nowadays.
Everything has cameras. So, just try to be a little discreet. Like you said, open your car door, go behind a shed or something.
Right.
Not kind of out in the open.
Yeah. The only saving grace is if she had a longer coat on and was just squatting down, she probably could have got away with it if someone walked by. Us guys, it's pretty obvious what we're doing. You know what I mean? But at least a woman could have hide that she has her pants down.
Yeah.
All right. Uber surge pricing in effect all the time, drivers say. I did not read this one, but 9 to 5 Mac is usually a good site. So,
I mean, it's not the greatest story. It's really story based based out of London.
Okay.
And they're just talking about, everybody knows what surge pricing is. When it gets busy, you're going to pay more for an Uber or a Lyft ride. And the drivers over there are just saying that it seems like to them that the surge pricing it's no longer surge pricing. It's just in effect all the time.
Mm-hmm.
but they're not getting their cut of it as we complain about quite a bit. So they said that they, they're talking about the days when Uber used to take the flat, 25% commission and all that kind of stuff. And, back in the good old days. But they said that it just seems like I said, the surge pricing feature used to only kick in during busy periods, but now it seems like the dynamic pricing is on all the time. And they actually did some tests. They began logging in as riders to request rides and then seeing how much they were charged or quoted and then how much the drivers offered. So just one example, they said the driver was quoted $58 while the driver was only offered $33. So Uber was taking 43% of that ride.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they're just seeing what we've seen kind of here and worldwide. The companies are just taking more and more as they're trying to become profitable and trying to make money for their shareholders.
Do you foresee Uber trying to do some sort of documentation like Lyft is, like guaranteed the 70%, or do you think they're going to be stuck up and not do that?
I don't know. I mean, they copy each other quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It used to always be, or for the most part, one will come up with something and the other one will copy it. And it's gone both ways.
Of course.
Uber's copied Lyft and Lyft's copied Uber. I don't know. I think Uber's doing well enough right now that I don't think they feel like they need to.
No. And their jury's still out on the 70%. Like, I mean, it's hard to, like, okay, they say that let's say you only got like 65, so they added 5%, but like, how do we really know? I mean, I don't know. I guess basically you're gonna have to do the math every ride, right? Because they're giving you all the information, but then we can't control that. Like, remember one of them we looked at was like a $30 commercial insurance fee, and I'm like,
yeah,
$30 for one ride? Like, that just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
So
yeah. I mean, it's hard, and there are all these people who will keep. I've read stories where people are like, "Oh yeah, that's why I screenshot every ride." I'm like, who has got time to screenshot every ride?
I mean, I could screenshot every ride, but who has time to process through loads of data, figure out the exact amount, and then who are you going to send it to? Santa Claus? Because you can send it to Uber, they'll tell you get bent.
Yeah, I doubt they even respond to
unless it's like blatantly obvious. I mean, at least earlier in the life of at least Uber in Grand Rapids, if we would have something that was fucked up and it was obvious, they would pay the difference. Like it used to be where you could just say, hey, this should have been an XL. They ordered an X, you know what I mean? But they still had more than 5 people, and they'd be like, okay, we'll change it. Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
and Lyft never did. They would always say you have to cancel. We're not going to change.
Yeah,
the
you
price.
have to cancel it and make them order the larger ride,
right? Which they know no one's going to do because they're like it's a hassle. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, by the time you realize it, everybody's in the car.
Yeah, just drive it. So next up, this is going to be a little bit of a lengthy video, but I think the rideshare guy they put out some great content. So thank you, Harry. And I don't know the guy that was talking in this video. I apologize.
Sergio, I think.
No, that's not Sergio.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a newer guy.
No. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
But anyways, I apologize. I don't know your name. I mean, I love Harry's stuff. I just don't watch it or follow it a ton. But this popped up on my For You page somewhere. I don't know. And I thought he did a really good job. But the new app in Minneapolis called Rides, I did it. Did you hear me pause just for a second, though? I don't know why that W throws me off. Like, I'm such
It does,
idiot.
man. It really gets you, doesn't it?
It does, because it doesn't make logical sense that there's a W there. But so we're going to watch this, have him explain it. Kind of, if you're on the video, it's really great because you can kind of see the app a little bit. And then we'll kind of go from there. The Gig Economy Podcast will be back after a quick break.
You love listening to podcasts, but have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? Maybe you want to build a brand, grow your business, or are looking for an excuse to talk about your favorite hobby. Whatever your reason for making a podcast, Buzzsprout is the place to start. Since 2009, Buzzsprout has helped over 300,000 people launch their own podcasts. Buzzsprout walks you step by step through the whole process and will give you powerful tools to start, grow, and monetize your podcast. Ready to get started? Click the link in the show notes to get our free step-by-step guide to starting your podcast today.
here we go.
Rides recently launched in Minneapolis. This week I completed a few trips with them. Today we'll discuss my initial thoughts and earnings. Alright, so I onboarded with Rides last week. They meet all drivers face-to-face. All drivers are required to take a drug test. At that face-to-face, I paid my subscription fee. It was prorated to $53.75 for the month, but I believe going forward here in Minneapolis, those subscription fees will be $100 per month. After being approved, I received my personal placard and some marketing materials, and I was ready to go online. My typical weekly driving is Mondays and Tuesdays, and I drive all day, about 10 hours per day. Monday morning, I wanted to give Rides my first hour of the day. I went online at 9 a.m. in Northeast Minneapolis. I waited about 15 minutes and I received my first ping. And here's what it looked like initially, and I had never seen one of these, so I took some time to look at all the information. You can see on the bottom there are a few options. You have the option to decline. You also see the timer. What's great with Rides is you have 30 seconds to accept the ride. This is double the amount of time that you have to accept the ride on Lyft and triple the amount of time you have to accept on Uber. Next to that, you see profit. This is what you will make on the ride. And then they also have your estimated drop-off time. At the top there, you can see the pickup and drop-off address. You can see the pickup address was just some cross streets and the drop-off address was a business. Now the map was a little confusing. I couldn't see the pickup address right away. So basically I had to slide the map up and then I could see the pickup address. So this is something that they're going to want to iron out. Drivers, of course, are going to want to see both of these locations on the map when the request comes in. But since you have 30 seconds to accept the request, that's plenty of time to analyze and look at all of this information. But the pickup address will be a green flag and the drop-off address will be a red flag. And in order to accept the request, you just select the acknowledge button at the bottom. And one other interesting thing, Rides does not keep track of your acceptance rate or your cancellation rate. And here's what it looks like after you accept the request. On Uber and Lyft, I would have never accepted this request, but since this was my first request with Rides, I wanted to accept it to try it out. You can see it was 14 minutes and 3.58 miles to the pickup location and 9 minutes and 2.85 miles to the destination. So a total of about 25 minutes, and I was only getting paid $5.46. So again, on Uber and Lyft, I would never accept this request, but on Rides, I accepted it because it was my first one. They don't actually have a default navigation setting in their driver app. They should actually add that. But in order to launch your navigation app, you just select that navigation button on the map there. And here's what it looks like when you arrive at the passenger's pickup location. At the bottom there, you can see you have the cancellation option, you have the chat option, you still see your profit there, and you also see the wait time timer. And the wait time timer is 2 minutes before you can cancel. This is fantastic, and Rides did encourage us initially here to give passengers maybe a little bit more time if necessary. Also, you see that number 64. If you select that, it will put up a big number 64 on your phone so you can hold your phone up to show your passenger where you are. The passenger can also hold this up too on their phone. This is a great way to match passengers when it's dark out or when you're in a busy area. To start a trip, you just swipe to start at the bottom. And I forgot to take a screenshot of the drop-off screen, but it's pretty straightforward. So that was my first ride. Again, not great pay, but since this was my very first request, I wanted to accept it. I wanted to experience it. I ended up dropping that passenger off at like 9:40. Again, I wanted to give Rides my first hour of the day, so I stayed logged in exclusively with them until 10 o'clock, and that was the only request I received in that hour. This is kind of what I expected. Hopefully demand will pick up soon. They just launched days before I started driving. I believe Steve, the CEO of Rides, has said they have 1,600 drivers in the sign-up queue, and they're onboarding about 100 drivers per day, and they also have 6,500 passengers that have downloaded the app. But throughout the rest of the day, every time I completed a trip on any platform, I would log into all three, Uber, Lyft, and Rides. I was probably logged into Rides for about 2 hours in total between Monday and Tuesday. I couldn't find that online time information. They don't have it in the driver app or online, so hopefully they can provide that online information soon. Drivers want to know that information. In those 2 hours, I received about 8 requests, and I accepted 3 of them. Most of those requests were minimum fare rides, and the pickup distance was just too far, so it couldn't justify me accepting those. Again, this is what I expected. I assume these pickup distances will shorten, especially with all the drivers that will be onboarding to the platform, and also with the new passengers that will start using the app. And of course, I would have received more requests if I just drove for Rides exclusively and didn't use Uber or Lyft, but that's just not feasible right now. Alright, so as far as my earnings, all 3 passengers either left a tip or a perk. And again, perk is what Rides has instead of surge. And perk stands for Passenger Enabled Ride Kickstart. So the passenger chooses the perk. The app does not choose the perk like Uber or Lyft with their surge pricing. The passenger that paid $14.11 added a $5 perk. The passenger on the $6.18 ride added a $1 tip. And the passenger on the $8.74 ride added a $3 tip.
Okay. I didn't actually watch the rest of it, so I was like, that's good enough.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. The perk thing. What and the customer adds that, and he didn't really.
Yes.
Did he explain
I think
it
it's
later?
a pre-tip. I think they add that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would just be a tip. And that only came to my mind as we were watching this the second time, because the first time I watched it, I was confused about that as well. But that would be my guess.
Okay.
Is a perk would just be a something that the passenger puts in, just kind of a pre-tip to get incentive to pick up the ride.
Yeah. So I'm confused. So you're going to be paying $100 a month, and that first ride he took was not great. I mean, it's almost 3 miles, and it's $5.48. Like, I expect that to be a $10 ride if I'm paying $100 a month. I mean, you keep all of it. I mean, yeah, there's no fee out of that, but I mean, not there is a fee, but my point is $100 a month, and I'm only getting paid $6 for a 3 mile ride.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it shakes out, whether it ends up being worth it or whether people really like it. I mean, they do have some good things going for them. I really like the fact that it gives you 30 seconds to analyze whether you want the ride or not. That would be
It's an
awesome.
eternity.
Yeah, compared to what we have now with Uber and Lyft, especially with the upfront pricing, you're trying to figure out, math in your head, and we all know how good we are at math.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be a really sweet thing. And we've talked for years about, these people maybe live out in the country or something, and like, man, if they could pre-tip, and it would incentivize a driver to come get them. And that's what it sounds like to me that perk is.
I mean, going back to that first ride, it is $2 a mile if you only count the ride, not the travel too, which I usually base on $1 a mile. So I'm not saying it's better than an Uber or Lyft ride. It would be than that. But my point is, it's like, if I'm paying $100 a month, like, I guess I would expect a little bit more. I don't know. And that's just me. I mean, I'm not trying to be greedy, but like, $100 a month for like a part-time driver, like that really does add up. So
Right. Yeah. And it'll be, like I said, it'll be interesting to see as it shakes out, as they get more drivers and riders signed up for the platform. And, like he was talking about, he foresees that, it won't be those long drives to get the passenger.
I'm not too worried about that. That happens now in Grand Rapids. There's long ass drives.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It happens here as well. No, but
as I'm thinking about it though, so let's say it is $100 a month. Okay. So you drive all year, it's $1,200. I bet those fees are still less than what Uber and Lyft charge you. I mean,
I would think so.
I mean, look at your summary when you break it down. Now they fluff that number, I feel like, but it's definitely going to be more than $1,200 a year.
Oh yeah, I know. Mine has always been more than that for their fees and stuff.
Yeah, and so I mean, I know I'm not trying to throw rides under the bus, but I just expected that ride to be like $10. I don't know. That was like $5.58 or $5.48. I was like, what?
Yeah.
But, oh well. I think I signed up for them.
Did you?
They're not here. Also, is Joe? Did he just like fly? Like, does he live in Minnesota? Because like, how was he able to?
Yeah, I think he lives.
Okay, it was just kind of nice that I mean, I know Harry's got people all over the country that work for him. I just thought it was kind of cool that he was able to test it out. You know what I mean?
It's like, here I am on location with my story of my rides.
I rented a car. I
flew out here.
Yeah, I mean, he
rented
could
a car,
do it.
and now I'm driving.
Yeah, he could do it, but. I mean, yeah, Bubba's to the point of the subscription, they are taking those ridiculous fees. Yeah, and I guess that would add up, right? If you all night you were making $5 to $10 for $3 rides, and then you're like, holy shit, I got a lot of money at the end of the night.
Now, are they still providing insurance?
Yeah, he does. Maybe I cut it off too soon, but it does show they are providing there's a charge for commercial insurance, but I think the customer's paying for that. Yeah, it was like $1 and some change for that ride. But it's I cut it off too early because there was some point where he showed the entire the transparency about everything, the insurance, all that. So
It listed everything.
yeah, so go check it out if you want to watch the whole thing again. I mean, we watched most of it. Of course, I cut it off the wrong spot, but that's all right. In my head, I was like 5-minute timestamp, and then after he showed that, I cut it. But yeah, I think it's going to be good. I'm excited for them. I hope they come to other markets. And it'd be cool if they offered a part-time tier too, and not have to pay the $100 a month, but we'll see. Moving on, Octopus tablet, one of our awesome sponsors. Go check that out. Link is in the description. You can earn up to $100 a month. It's a free tablet that you get. You're able to have your passengers play trivia and fun games, kind of current what's going on in the world. They also, the passengers can win money through the trivia. It's just all in all great. It prompts the passengers to tip. So all in all, it's a good product for rideshare drivers, and it's free, so why wouldn't you get it? The link is in the description, and sign up for that mofo.
Exactly. Yeah, and they also give away money to drivers.
They do. Ask
Jason.
I haven't seen a giveaway as high as mine since that happened, so I think I made him broke with my $1,000 win. Right. Moving forward, DoorDash had a weird thing happen. Let me throw up the first post, and this is what a driver sees. So it's kind of a normal thing.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just normal, screen that we're used to seeing. DoorDash shows the pay, shows, the DoorDash pay was $11,
which is super high.
Yeah. So that's not normal for us, but anyway, the customer tip was $4.50. It shows the total, but it has this nice little message at the bottom. It says $1 confirm items bonus. You'll get a $1 bonus within 24 hours if no other items are reported missing. It'll be in your weekly earnings under other pay. So they're offering like another $1, just I guess as long as all the items
if they don't get a complaint, basically. So you do 20, 30 orders. I mean, it's an extra $30 for that'll cover your gas.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, I'm sure Eric was very pleased to get this, but then later that night, Eric gets this email from DoorDash. Says, "Hey, Eric, there was a brief error yesterday where select dashers like you saw a banner after completing a delivery that indicated you would be receiving an additional $1 for confirming the items in the order. The banner was inadvertently displayed, and while the guaranteed earnings you saw when you accepted the offer were paid, no incremental bonus will be paid out. The banner is part of one of several upcoming tests that we're excited to pilot to give dashers the chance to complete additional tasks during a delivery to increase their pay. Look out for these opportunities in the future, and we again apologize for the error. Signed, the Dasher team." So they should have given him the money.
Well, the thing is, though, they didn't want to run the report to figure out how many people actually saw it. That's why they're like, you know what, just send a fucking email. I mean, it's $1 here and there, but still, they should have just gave. You know what they should have done? They should have just gave everyone that got that email, because that report would be much easier than finding out if they actually delivered on. Give them $5.
Yeah, something. Give them something.
Yeah, give them a couple
not
bucks.
Just this. Not just a sorry, we messed up,
Yeah.
And you're not getting anything.
No one like gig workers likes to be teased with money and then they take it back like that. That will piss people off. I'd have just gone offline on if I got it the next day, I guess it wouldn't have mattered. But
yeah, and I'm assuming that's what happened. Is it didn't happen right away, because it says there was a brief error yesterday. So I'm sure they didn't get it till the next day. So they were expecting. Like I said, you work a busy shift and make a lot of orders, and you're expecting this additional, $20, $30 or something. They're like, no, we were just joking, just teasing.
Yeah. And everything helps. Like, I go back to the tablet thing. Like, if you're a full-time driver, like, you're making $100 a month. I mean, like, gas is expensive, but like every little bit helps, especially for just doing your job, like driving around, people look at the tablet, delivering the order. Hopefully, I mean, the problem is like you're dependent on the restaurant, but it's still an opportunity to make a little extra money. And when you're not making a ton as a gig worker, that little $1 here and there. I mean, I'd do anything if I was working. Like if it was like for a while there, you could snap the menus, like a picture of the menu or whatever, and they pay you $1. Like, okay, I'll fucking do it for $1. Like I'm already there.
Why not? Yeah, exactly. And this will give people a little incentive. I mean, obviously, we're not supposed to be looking in bags, especially if they're sealed. But
Yeah.
just make sure. Yeah. Oh, if it said had a drink, okay, I do have a drink. Make sure. You can kind of check some things,
Right.
To kind of make sure that that the orders are correct. So yeah, you're already doing it anyway. It's anything that you can do to add on a little extra money, we're all about that.
Yep. All right, moving on. I should have played this earlier. I don't know if Josh is still on, but we were talking about Tesla and the cheap financing. So I'm just going to play that. It was just kind of like something we never follow up on shit, but I saw this pop up and I was like, all right, I'm playing this. So it's 8 seconds. Of course. You got to fucking read it. I'm such a dick. This is basically they're offering 9.99% APR on brand new models. They don't have a minimum credit score requirement for financing. You just need to provide proof of income. Oh my God, I forgot people can't hear me. Well, they can hear me on the podcast, but basically it's a cheap APR. You don't need a credit. You don't need a high credit score and low down payment or something like that. But I often wonder why Tesla's like, is it because their stocks are struggling a little bit? Like they're like giving that shit away.
Hey, they're hurting right now. So yeah, I mean that could be it. I don't know. Yeah, it does make you wonder what their reasoning is behind it.
I drove a Tesla and I really did like it. It was slick. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a Tesla hater, but the only thing, well, first it was pricey, you know what I mean? And I couldn't get into one for $35,000. I mean, I guess I could have bought a used one, but then you couldn't get the rebate, you know what I mean? Or the stuff, but
yeah,
they are nice. I mean, I know people give them shit because people call them Tesla fanboys, and you know what I mean? They're like, need Tesla. Like, it's a nice car. Like, it's nice. I mean, it's not the most attractive thing. If you really look at it, it's kind of ugly. But when I say it's a nice car, like it just the lines are clean, everything's nice inside. It just doesn't feel junky, but it doesn't look like a car. It actually kind of looks like a spaceship.
Yeah. It's it's not as pretty as the Cybertruck.
Oh, Jesus. That thing is so bad. It's so bad.
I saw one picture one the other day, and it was, I guess they painted it or whatever, but it was black. It was all blacked out, and it looked much better than
How do you spruce that thing up to make? I mean, being stainless steel, it looks like a giant refrigerator.
Stick magnets all over it, I guess.
I did see one that the back looked like it had a bunch of bullet holes, like some hill jacks decided to see if it was actually. I'm like, I don't think the sides are bulletproof. I think he said the windows were bulletproof, but I don't know. Maybe the sides are too. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'd even drive it. If I won it or someone gave it to me, I think I would just sell it. It's that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'd drive it a couple of times just for fun, but I don't think I would keep it. I think it's a hideous thing.
Yeah, it'd be fun to drive just because everybody's going to be staring at you.
Yeah.
Just pull into a parking lot and let people, people are going to come up and ask questions and look at it. And yeah, it'd be fun to do that for a little bit. But as far as driving it on a regular basis, I think that probably be a no.
It's like Elon had such an opportunity to make a really cool truck, and fuck Rivian. You know what I mean? Like Rivian's trucks, I love them. They're slick. Like he had an opportunity, and he was just like, he didn't care. He was just going to be an idiot with it. You know what I mean? He goes, people will buy these. I'm like, yeah, a few fanboys will buy them, but ain't gonna, you're gonna save your company on that thing. I mean,
yeah,
it's absolutely hideous. So you won't see me in one. Lyft Glow, the new Lyft amp or the replacement for that. I don't have any pictures. I looked at them. It looks relatively similar. So
yeah, it does. And the only reason I came across it in one of the your rideshare groups on Facebook, and I had not heard it mentioned anywhere, and really can't find a whole lot of information about it. So I'm not sure where this is coming out, or if it, I'd love it if anybody has received one of these or knows anything about this new replacement for the amp. Shoot us a message and let me know. But it does look very similar. It looks like the animation is, some of the animations and stuff are a little different. The story I did come across is from one of the guys, I guess, that worked on the project. He said that work began on the replacement for the amp in 2019. So,
well, don't work too hard. Jesus.
Exactly. But yeah, so it does show some different animations, I guess, than the original amp, and it's like rainbow colored things and some different messaging. And I know we were all, when we got our amp, it was one of those things. Everybody was excited to get their amp and everything. But after a while, I mean, I don't know about you, but I've got so many things plugged into my USB that I started leaving it at home.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, now that we got the righty vending machine, I got one more damn thing. So it's like, I got no room.
Yeah. Yeah. You really don't.
I wish they'd start powering these. It sounds stupid, but why? Everything else is fucking rechargeable. Why can't you make this Lyft amp, or what's it called now? The Glow. Why can't you make it rechargeable? And no one, I mean, it should be able to last in 8 hours. I mean, it's such a small unit, and the batteries they make are so powerful now. Let me recharge it. And people might say, well, I don't want to take it in and out. But it's like, do you want another cord dangling around? Like, if I could just
Oh, yeah. And a lot of times, I mean, I would even turn mine off unless I'm, picking somebody up for a Lyft.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times I would.
Well, because it causes people to come to your car.
Yes. Yeah.
If you're doing bar crowd.
Moth to the flames, man. They come, they come to your car for sure.
Yeah.
Whether you're the ride or not. So, yeah, I'm going to keep a lookout and see if I can get in touch with anybody who actually has one of these new ones or knows anything, much of anything about them. So, like I said, came across the story in one of the groups and then I looked and did some research and found this story, but I haven't really heard a lot.
Yeah, I did see somebody said that they ordered it, but on Facebook they could be, whatever, full of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But. Yeah, I mean, if it became available, I'd probably order it just to try it. Like, I mean, I gotta try everything, right? I mean, I never got an opportunity to get the beacon for Uber. They never gave it to me, but
no, me neither. We didn't have many people in our group that had a beacon.
No, I don't know if it ever made it to the Midwest. I don't know if it was just more of a West Coast thing or in the bigger cities, but I don't think I knew anybody. I hate those other lights too. Like, at least, the ones you buy on Amazon, and no offense if you have one, like, it's totally fine. It just, to me, it draws, like, I want to be on the DL, other than the stickers I have, right? Because if I go to the airport, those are required.
Right.
If I'm in the commercial lane and I don't have those stickers, they're going to come talk to me. But, I don't know. It just draws too much attention. I think during the day it would be fine. But when you're at night and, like you said, moths to light, they're going to come try to get in your car. So looks like Pete got a new car. Well, what'd you get, Pete? Might be doing
goodness.
Dude, if you get out and do some
coming
rides,
out of retirement.
Oh, I will shit my pants. I will come drive that night with you and we'll meet up and get some shit.
No, you go be his passenger.
A grandpa car.
A Buick.
Oh, no. Gabe drove one of those.
Buick Encore.
Yeah, he sold it. I'm pretty sure it was a Buick Encore. Yeah. No, that's
a nice ride.
That's a nice ride. Absolutely, yes, it is. I wanted to see. He drove the bigger Buick. What is the bigger Enclave? I bet it's the Enclave.
Yeah.
You fucking do it. That'd be amazing. All right,
Pete.
Let's go, Pete. Let's go, Pete. All right, let's do this next one here. Okay, so I'm gonna try to read this, but good God. Oh, Lord, I'm going to have to read it this way. So, in-home delivery, the only places that I've really heard in-home delivery is the Spark that's going to start doing it. But apparently in DoorDash, I don't know where this is, but we're excited to announce new ways to earn. Dashing in your area will be offering in-home drop-off for certain grocery orders. Will be offered an in-home grocery delivery based on the accept screen, which will mention in-home delivery required. Yeah, no shit. Thanks for that clarification. When you arrive at the customer's home to drop off the order, please review the drop-off instructions and make contact with the customer. Please wait for the customer invitation into their home and ask them whether they'd like you to drop their order. Once you have placed their order in the desired location, you'll be prompted in the Dasher app to take a photo of the groceries for an additional $3 per order. Are we sure? Are we sure we're going to get the $3?
You're going to get an email the next day.
Are we going to get screwed? Because $3, now we're talking some real money.
That's right.
Jeez Louise. Refrain from capturing personal identifying information of the customer, such as photos of their face when taking a photo of the groceries.
Now, what's up with that? Because it doesn't say that when you're delivering their food. It doesn't say don't.
I
take
know.
pictures.
I don't understand that. Yeah, that's always funny when you get them in the picture. The experience will be similar to completing large order deliveries. Note your acceptance rate will not be impacted if you reject an in-home delivery order. If you see a screen that indicates your acceptance rate will go down, if you reject your order, you can ignore that. Oh, okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Sure. So let me zoom this in.
DoorDash got jokes.
Yeah, right. So this is a $20.75 guaranteed, including tips, plus the $3 in-home, and it's a grocery pickup. So, like, that's pretty good because it doesn't even say that they're shopping for it. It just, or maybe it says pickup.
Yeah, you're just picking it up.
That's a fucking nice ass order. Yeah. But I don't know. It makes, I don't know. I mean, I guess I would do it.
Well, I mean, of course. I mean, this is a DoorDash ad. They're not going to put a shitty order on their ad.
No. Yeah, that's true. $2 base pay, and then it says including tips. Yeah. I mean, goodness. I don't know if I would do it. I mean, $3. Like, now we're talking like, I if the fucking minimum is $2, their base pay is $2, you can pay me extra $3 on top of everything just to bring it in the counter. But man, you're gonna see some shit. You're gonna see some shit if you go in those houses.
Yeah, and as always, be careful, be mindful of your surroundings.
Oof.
If you get a bad feeling, it's never too late to say, just leave. just leave if you need to.
Well, the problem is there's going to be creepers that are going to take advantage of it. Mostly, I think it's focused toward people that are disabled and just can't go and get
people,
their
things like that.
I have when I did Spark, I felt better about it, but I would have people ask if you could just bring it into the breezeway. Like, I did it all the time. Like, I didn't have
I did with
that.
Spark.
Yeah, but for whatever reason with DoorDash, it feels trashier. And like I just seen some of those pictures of people dropping off food at these homes, and the outside is just covered in dirty diapers and dog shit everywhere, and I'm just like, do I really want to go inside this person's home? Fuck no.
You're gonna be doing deliveries over at what is the apartment complex?
Oh, York Creek.
York Creek, yeah.
Nah, bro. Ain't happening. So
that's
gross.
No.
Oh my gosh. All right. Let me pull this back here so I can figure out what we're doing. All right, let's do the stool one. Since we've been teasing it, I did remember maybe we'll grab the Jersey City one, but so apparently you poop in a bucket, and how do you make money?
Yeah, so this has become a stool donor. It's for research, and it's also for transplants for people who have certain gut diseases. So what they do is they will take this, I guess, healthy bacteria and these fecal samples, and they will transplant them. But it says of course they make it sound easy. It says their advertisement: become a stool donor, complete the screening questionnaire, complete verification of stool type and physical fitness, do a video interview, then you do stool and blood testing, and you get paid $500 per stool.
I know.
So $500. But then it says, if you're having a bowel movement every day, it could total $180,000 a year.
I know. But that's such bullshit.
I did a little research on there, and the facts are that about 1% of the people who apply get chosen. They want people who are in like top physical condition, who have a very clean diet, very certain blood types, and very certain, just chemical makeup in their body. So your odds of getting accepted for this program, I wouldn't be quitting my day job thinking I'm going to make 180 grand just by shitting, that's the bottom line. Yeah,
interesting. It says we operate on supply and demand, so you're welcome to set your own availability and prices. Set my own prices, like OnlyFans. You can choose if you want to make daily donations or if you're too. Is this the Onion? Like, it's a .org though. It just, the way it's written is like, you can choose if you want to make daily donations or if you're too busy to wait for a large clinical trial. After screening 26,000 donor applicants and still not getting the quality of donor we're looking for, we increase our default prices and payouts to $500 per stool sample. But if that's not sufficient payment for your time, you are able to set whatever price you like. We cannot solve this problem without you.
Yeah, but it even says here under restoring the gut microbiome. I don't know how you say it.
I can't say it. Microbiome.
There you go. Via fecal microbiota transplants. So it's recent microbiome research discoveries have given hope of addressing these major problems. But in order to do so, we need the tiny 0.1% of people who are still healthy enough to qualify as high quality stool donors.
Oh, so
sign up. 0.1% of the people.
So what they're really focusing on, which I thought it was just, I didn't know it was just all transplants. Well, it says research too. So transplants, you got to be like really good shape because that means your gut is super healthy and all that stuff. But if you're just doing research, I'll squash in a box for research. I mean,
yeah, but I think they won't take it unless even for research, unless you have a very certain chemical makeup. I just think from what I've read.
Oh yeah. So if you page down, donors must be in exceptional physical and mental health, ideally top young athletes.
Yeah. So we are out. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, we are out. Oh, my God. So funny. Donors would be under 30. Donors can be under 18 if they have a consent. Jesus. Well, anyways, it's not going to be any of us and probably no one listening to the show. No offense, anyone listening to the show.
But goodness. Pete with the 2 poops, 1 cup.
I know. Did you see me do this when you're talking? I was just like, oh my God, I can't even.
I just saw it. Oh.
Yeah, that 2 poops, 1 cup. Yeah.
Yeah, the old 2 girls, 1 cup. Oh my goodness.
What I really don't like about it is like, why even tease the 500? They need to where you scroll down to the bottom. Are they just trying to collect data on people? Is that what they're trying to do? Because why not have the basic qualifications up at the top? Like, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, well, I'm not going to apply. I may have even tried to apply for this before, not scrolled all the way to the bottom. We're lazy. Like, I mean, this has probably been around for a bit. It has
been around for a bit.
It did sound familiar. So I may have applied for it, but clearly didn't scroll all the way to the bottom.
And got rejected, huh?
Right. Oh, it's just a Google Doc, like you're basically filling out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it says, the 30 years old, minimal antibiotic use. Oh
my God, Larry, click on the stool donor questionnaire, right? And then scroll down, and it's talking about body fat percentage, and it has pictures of women of like you're supposed to, and then men too. You're supposed to pick your body fat percentage.
Stool donor question.
Yeah,
I got it.
It's all the way to the bottom, and then it's like a Google form, and then scroll down to the pictures.
Oh my!
And then keep scrolling down is a picture of your Bristol type, your Bristol stool type. It's like a now. I am actually using this because I am tracking some data for my issues, so I know about this. I know this Bristol stool type, but yeah.
I was unfamiliar with the Bristol ratings
You didn't know
this
that?
very moment.
You didn't?
No, I knew there was descriptions, but I didn't know there was like a specific technical, scientific rating.
Well, I was going to say, what did you learn today? But clearly you learned that there's a scale for different consistencies of caca. So
yeah, and that we are not in the 0.1% of people that they are going to want.
No, on that scale, if you're type 7, that means you prep for a colonoscopy. There should be no reason that it's happening to you if you have not prepped for a colonoscopy. Number 7, liquid consistency with no solid pieces. Nah. When I was sick, I was number 5 and 6 for like 3 months straight. It was not fun. Okay, we need to stop talking about this.
Yes.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening to the Gig Economy podcast. Pete, Jason knows about pooping. Yeah, unfortunately, I do. We are going to do a Patreon podcast if you are a level $10 tier. you have access to that. It's going to be at 9-10 p.m. We have a couple other stories to talk about that we didn't quite get to, so that might be interesting. And then anything else? I don't think so. As always, don't put up with anyone's poop.
And we will see you on the road.
Good night.
Hey, good night, everybody.
This podcast is produced and edited by Hey Guys Media Group. Want to start a podcast? Check out heyguysmediagroup.com.